Hello everyone, welcome to Veranda IAS. In this session, today we are going to see the salient features of Indian Constitution. In our previous session, we studied about Indian Constitution, the basic document with which our country runs. We saw the bulkiest document, the bulkiest constitution we only Indians have. And what all is inside it, what all makes it unique, we will see into it today. So we are going to discuss the uniqueness of Indian Constitution and the salient features of Indian Constitution. The Constitution of India got commenced on 26th of January in the year of 1950. Since then till today, the Constitution is guiding the aspirations of the people and is the basis of all the governments, all the parties who are ruling in our country. So basically, what makes it so unique? We will see all its features which make Indian Constitution unique. The Indian Constitution is a unique document both in its content and in its spirit. We have the features which make Indian Constitution a very different to adjust, to adapt with the people, with the vastness of the country and with the diversity of cultures, religions we have in the country. Though it is borrowed from almost every constitution of the world, the Indian document has several features that distinguish it from the constitutions of other countries. We have borrowed Indian Constitution from multiple sources, be it the Constitution of Canada, Britain, USA, erstwhile USSR, France. Every constitution, our constitution makers read whatever they found suitable to Indian characteristics, the society of India. They took those features and they inbuilt those features in Indian Constitution. This is how our Indian Constitution was drafted. So we have borrowed from almost every constitution of the world. So we will look into the features of Indian Constitution, what makes this constitution so much unique. Number first is it is the lengthiest constitution in the world. Indian Constitution has 395 articles, 22 parts and 8 schedules when it was framed. And today, after nearly 100 amendments, more than 100 amendments, we have 450 plus articles, 25 parts and 12 schedules. Now the question is, what makes Indian Constitution the lengthiest constitution in the world? So there are multiple things, multiple reasons behind it. First being the Government of India Act of 1935. When Britishers were ruling over India, they framed various laws. One amongst them was Government of India Act of 1935. The Act of 1935 is the major document from where we have taken the structural part, and since that act was bulky, we have most of the things in Indian Constitution that makes it very large and lengthy. Apart from this, the vastness of the country, the geographical area of the country is very large. So the vastness of India is making Indian Constitution large in size. Apart from this, we have various diversity. People from different castes, different religions, different cultures live in India. So the diversity of India is also one amongst the region. Apart from this, there are various reasons for the for making Indian Constitution the lengthiest in the world. We have provisions for minority groups as well, for different educationally and socially backward classes as well. Apart from this, we have not only the political structure, but also the administrative things, administrative minute details are also there in the Constitution. Second, we have drawn the provisions of Indian Constitution from various sources. I have already informed you all that we saw the constitutions of various countries and then we took all the things to Indian Constitution. The structural part, we have taken it from Government of India Act of 1935. The philosophical part, that constitutes fundamental rights, fundamental duties and DPSPs. This we have taken from different constitutions. Like rights we have taken from the Constitution of USA, Duties we have taken from the constitution of erstwhile USSR, and DPSPs we have taken from Irish constitution. And apart from this, political part of Indian constitution is mainly taken from Britain. Since Britishers were the people who were ruling over us, so we have taken the parliamentary form, the cabinet form of government from British constitution. Next is, Indian constitution is a blend of rigidity and flexibility. What does it mean? Basically, we have two types of constitution in words, either rigid or flexible. But in India, we have a blend of two. What does it mean? Basically, Indian constitution provides for provisions of amendment in various types. We can amend Indian constitution with simple majority as well as with special majority. So, those provisions which can be amended by simple majority makes Indian constitution flexible, like they can be amended like a simple law. We amend a law or an act in an easy way, no need of state ratification, no need of special majority. That way we can amend some provisions by simple majority. Another, under Article 368, we have special majority, two types of special majority. One is special majority and second is special majority with ratification of states. Wherever any federal provision is being amended, we need ratification from the states. So under Article 368, we have some unique procedure to amend Indian constitution, and that makes it rigid. That is why we call it is a blend of rigidity and flexibility. Next is, Indian constitution is federal system with unitary bias. In our previous session also I told you that we have federalism in India. We have a center that from which the states derive powers. But after that also we have some unitary tilt, unitary biasness. And this system, federal system with unitary bias, is known as quasi-federalism. Or else we can say that Indian constitution is federal in nature but unitary in spirit. Next feature is parliamentary form of government. This we have taken from British constitution. Parliamentary form of government में we have Indian parliament that makes all the laws. Parliament with two houses, Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. All the legislation work is done in Indian parliament. Next is the synthesis of parliamentary sovereignty and judicial supremacy. It means parliamentary sovereignty, parliament is sovereign, and judicial supremacy means we have an integrated independent judiciary in India. What does it mean? We have Supreme Court at the top. Below that we have high courts in the states, and below high courts we have various subordinate courts, be it civil courts or district courts. Although we have hierarchical arrangement for judiciary, it does not mean that Supreme Court will deal with the matters of center and High Court with states. It is not like this. The same thing is there in USA. In USA, Supreme Court deals with the matter of the center and the High Courts deal with the matter of the provinces. But in India, it is not so. There is no foundation that only these matters can be dealt with, Supreme Court or High Court or subordinate courts. Next important feature is independent and integrated and independent judiciary. What does it mean? Though we have integrated judiciary, also they are independent in nature. Independent in nature means Supreme Court is the guarantor of fundamental rights. Supreme Court is the last unit, last body, authority where we can challenge any of the decisions of high courts and subordinate courts. Supreme Court has the role to protect fundamental rights, protect the constitution, and make sure that all the executive and legislations work in congruence with the Constitution of India. Next important feature is fundamental rights. We have driven this from USA Constitution. Fundamental rights, very important feature. Why so? Because from this feature we derive some rights which are unique to us, and these rights act as constraint for the governments of the day. Governments of the day cannot encroach in our liberties, our freedoms, and cannot misuse the powers, because we, the citizens of India, have fundamental rights. Part 4 of Indian Constitution, Part 3 of Indian Constitution deals with fundamental rights. Then comes directive principles in Part 4. Directive principles are the directions or the recommendations to the governments of the day. Central and state governments both keep it in their mind whenever they frame some law, even their party manifestos should be in congruence with directive principles. Directive principles are non-justiciable in nature, but it does not mean that directive principles are moral obligations. Why so? Because we, the people of India, are a reason that government should follow directive principles. If their manifestos, their laws are not in congruence with DPSPs, what will happen after 5 years? They will meet their fate. Next important is fundamental duties. That constitutes of Part 4A. The Constitution of India ensures that we, the citizens of India, if having some rights to enjoy, should also have some duties to follow, to obey. So these fundamental duties are some of the duties, although these are also non-justiciable in nature, but that does not mean that we, the citizens, are not going to follow that. For example, we have to respect the national flag, national anthem. All these duties are there in fundamental duties. Next important feature is India is a secular state. What does it mean? We give equal respect to all the religions. One point which you should keep in your mind from here is Indian secularism is a positive one, not a negative one. Like Western model of secularism is a negative one. That means in West, there is no religion of a state, no relation between religion and state. But in India, it is not so. In India, we do not have an official religion, but we pay respect to all the religions and give equal importance to all the religions. We have fundamental right to religion, freedom of religion, that gives liberty to all the citizens to propagate, profess, and adopt any religion, and also not to adopt any religion. That right also contains a provision. If one is interested not adopting or following any religion, that is also there. Next is independent bodies. We have multiple independent bodies that constitutes Election Commission, UPSC, State PCS, and many more. These independent bodies have their funds derived from Consolidated Fund of India. There is no anything which can disrupt their functioning, and therefore they are independent in nature, and it is very important for them to be independent for the functioning of India. Why? Because let us take an example of Election Commission. Election Commission is the body which conducts elections in India at the central level and state legislature level. So if Election Commission is not independent, it has some or other effects, it has some or other influences, it will not be able to work in proper manner, and hence free and fair elections in India will not be a reality. Next, we have single citizenship, unlike USA. Very important, in USA they have dual citizenship, but in India we have single citizenship. What does it mean? Single citizenship means one citizenship at state as well as center. It is not like I am a citizen of India as well as a citizen of some of the state, say Tamil Nadu. It is not like I have different citizenship of Tamil Nadu and different citizenship of India. I only have one citizenship, I am an Indian. But in USA, this is not the case. In USA, they have dual citizenship, hence dual set of rights, dual set of responsibilities. Okay. Next is emergency provinces. In Indian Constitution, we have emergency provinces under Article 352, 356 and 360. 352, 356 and 360. These emergency provisions are included in Indian Constitution to give special power to the President of India to deal with circumstances which are unavoidable and where one central government rule is required. We will deal with all the provisions in detail in our upcoming sessions. Then we have three-tier government in India. What does a three-tier government mean? When Indian Constitution was formed, originally we have two-tier government only, that was center and the state. By 73rd and 74th Amendment to Indian Constitution, provision of local self-government, the rural governments and the urban local self-governments was included, and now we have three-tier government. We have center, then we have states, and then we have Panchayati Raj institutions or the municipalities. Next important feature is cooperative societies. Cooperative societies are there in Indian Constitution, and now it has become a fundamental right. One can establish cooperative societies under Fundamental Right, Article 19. Last but not the least, we have universal adult franchise. What does it mean? Everyone in India who is 18 years or above of age has right to vote. This was one of the marvelous steps taken by our constitution makers, considering the vastness of the society, the diversity, the illiteracy and the backwardness of Indian society. Still they gave right to vote to all the citizens who are 18 years or above of age. Earlier the age was 21 years. With the constitutional amendment, it now became 18 years. So whosoever who is of 18 years of age can cast vote and can help in making of the government and the society. So this was all for today. I guess you all know now why Indian Constitution is so much lengthier and why Indian Constitution is so much unique. We have read about each and every feature. In our further sessions, we are going to deal with these independently and with the examination point of view. Even this topic constitutes a very important topic for your prelims as well as mains. Till then, stay tuned, keep studying. Thank you so much.